Now, a website this afternoon has released what they call an exclusive that a Celtic player has now caught the eyes of Brentford, Brighton, West Ham and Tottenham, has entered the race for a Celtic midfield player. The guy, I'm going to name him, Fraser Fletcher, is pretty prolific. He puts about 2 articles up a day on this website in question. But he says that Celtic star Matt O'Reilly has attracted major interest from the Premier League sides, including Tottenham. Would Matt O'Reilly seriously leave Celtic to go to Tottenham after what he said about Ange Postecoglou, the difference in his training style and his coaching style compared to Brendan Rodgers? And he was actually loving life under Brendan Rodgers. He goes on to say that Celtic have seen several of their stars leave over the past few seasons, with the most recent being the Jota deal to Saudi Arabia worth 25 million. The club will face bids for even more key men in the coming months. Matt O'Reilly's been sensational, yes, we'll agree that, but it's led to Premier League clubs making a note of interest, and they look to set a record transfer target. Celtic, they're expecting to reach 30 million for Matt O'Reilly. I don't think that he will go this window. I don't think he'll go next summer either, and I definitely don't think that he'll go to Tottenham Hotspur, but I could be wrong in that. He goes on to say that Brentford boss Thomas Frank is a huge admirer of the 22-year-old and would be keen to add him to his squad. The price point is likely to hammer the bees, but the Denmark international, but scouts have been present at multiple Celtic games this season. So it says that sources have told him that there's been major interest from London clubs, with West Ham and Tottenham both keeping tabs on his progress. Spurs are currently managed by Ange Postecoglou, and potentially a reunion is on the cards. I can't see it at all. I can't see it at all. But what we all do now is we'll talk about some players that could leave Celtic in the next transfer window, purely from the fact that some of their deals will be up next summer, and the manager has spoken about players that the squad is too big and it's time to trim the squad down. Now, first and foremost, I think that Mikey Johnson could be one of those players. I just can't see Mikey breaking his way into the team and being better than anybody that we've got at the moment. The reason that I think he might leave at the next window is his contract's up, and I think Celtic would rather sell a player than let him go for free. There is enough players that we've let go for free over the last few months, and especially the last transfer window. Now the next one up is obviously David Turnbull. David Turnbull, his time could be definitely up at Celtic. I don't think that he will progress as a player, although he can score goals from way outside the box, but then again he's also got that crazy shot that can maybe hit row Z. You know, Scottish players are not what they used to be at Celtic. They were quite dominant in the team over the last few years, but it's hard to say, is he one of the players that was mentioned in this morning's video that wanted to leave after Ange Postecoglou didn't play him at all last season? He was the young player of the year in the season 2021. But he sustained an injury through, I think it was the first season Ange Postecoglou was there, and then he never got a chance. After that, he's never going to get in front of Matt O'Reilly and Rio Hatate. But Rio Hatate is out injured, but I just think come the next transfer window, it could be the right time for the player to move on, for if Celtic have any ambitions to try and recoup some of the 3-odd million that they paid for Turnbull. Another one that cost 3.75 million is Alexandro Bernabe, who seems to have struggled with life at Celtic. He obviously had that run in with the law, and he wasn't driving when he shouldn't have been driving. But should Celtic try and recoup some of the 3.75 million that they invested in him? Greg Taylor is obviously the man of the moment in that position. It has been said that we do need a new left back, but Bernabe hasn't set the header on fire, that is for sure. With news coming out this afternoon that Stephen Welsh has re-entered training, that will be good for the manager. I know that he's back in training. He was offered a new extended deal and he accepted that, so he has got another 4 years at Celtic. But will the one and only Yuki Kobayashi get a place anywhere near the team? He was brought in on a crazy 5-year deal, and I think he's just made about 6 or 7 appearances, and he's never really made it. Will Celtic put him out on loan, or will they try and recoup some of the money for that player? I can't see Kobayashi getting anywhere near the defence, unfortunately. And then you have to think about the goalkeeping situation. Obviously, with the goalkeeping situation, we knew we were needing a new goalkeeper to come in. I did say in previous videos that I think that we might need 2 goalkeepers this coming summer, and next summer actually, in 2024. I think we might need 2 goalkeepers if Joe Hart does not sign an extended contract, which would it's not ideal. It's not an ideal situation to get Joe Hart signing a new contract given his age and but his experience. And if we bring in a suitable player that could pave the way to a succession from Joe Hart, maybe not get Joe Hart playing every game, but if we can bring in a player that is of equally as good but about 10 years younger, because let's face it, he is 36. If you can get a goalkeeper that comes in at 26 would be ideal. But one player that is 31 is Benjamin Siegrist. Benjamin Siegrist, he's never done anything at Celtic. The Swiss goalkeeper is more interested in getting down to Australia to be with his fiancée. The 31-year-old's just he only made a couple of appearances last season, but being backup keeper at his age and on the salary that he's on, I mean, he was quite good at Dundee United, but he was the keeper that was at Dundee United when they got relegated. So is it time for Siegrist to go? Tell me what you think in the comments. And then the big one that is left is James McCarthy. James McCarthy is a player that has been at Celtic since 2021. Former Irish international, has not featured at all under Brendan Rodgers, and he's not even been seen in training. It's a case of the 32-year-old who's made a grand total of 27 appearances in his time at Celtic, with a grand total of only 63 minutes played. 63 minutes played in total. And that was in the treble winning season of last season. So he's came on as a sub, but he's done absolutely nothing but drain wages from Celtic. Tell me what you think about those players in the comments. Do you think that those will be players that may move on in the next transfer window, purely for the fact of freeing up wages and then allowing Celtic to then think about targets that they can bring in? I mean, when you think about the wages that those 6 players are on, you could definitely go in and bring in someone of a bit of quality and make the team a little bit better, because let's face it, the squad is far too big. Brendan Rodgers has been talking about trimming the squad, and I think when you look at it, those are the players definitely that will not be at Celtic, at least after next summer. Is it this coming window? Is it the right time to get players out the door, the likes of those players that we spoke about? Tell me what you think in the comments, and we will talk about this even more in the live this evening, and we'll look forward to tomorrow evening's game at home. Celtic back at home against the one and only team from Paisley. So that'll be an exciting thing to look forward to. We'll get our score predictions in on the live, and also we'll get to pick our team for tomorrow evening. So on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to